Hello, my name is Adrian Dre. I'm a GDPR specialist that helps the dental sector, and it's my privilege to introduce to you the NHS DSP Toolkit Guide from Smart Dental Compliance. Smart Dental Compliance brought me in to help them out with this important assessment that you need to provide to the NHS or submit to the NHS every year. Now, whether you've never done this before or whether you've done this a few times, you'll know that it's not the most exciting project assessment in the world, and sometimes aspects of it can be quite confusing. Don't worry, I've been there. Even as a data protection officer for hundreds of dental practices, I've left myself scratching my head. But don't worry, because we can get through this together through this guide. Now, throughout this guide, I'm going to explain why some of the standards, the assessment items, are important. So you are empowered by having a more sort of contextual knowledge over these security standards, why it's important for your practice, but most importantly, how you can comply with those particular standards. Why is that really important? Well, we need to remember that the NHS DSP Toolkit has been designed to help all different types of NHS healthcare organisations, from these large mental health trusts, hospitals, right down to dentists and pharmacies. Now, all of us have a duty to respect the confidentiality, the availability, the integrity of patient data, of staff data, of associates data. So they're using the same sort of language, the same wording for all those different types of organizations. In reality, though, the security measures that you have in place, the organizational measures that you have in place, the types of training, the resources available to you as a dental practice owner, manager, are very, very different compared to a much larger organization such as a hospital or a mental health trust. I think we're all in agreement with that. So the way that I've written out, or set out rather, this guide is for you to just have a little bit of flexibility, see what's appropriate, see what's going to help you become compliant with this assessment, and more importantly, develop a healthy data protection culture within your practice. Now, unlike other pieces of legislation which are quite prescriptive, such as health and safety, maybe Legionella, data protection is a little bit different. GDPR is based on principles about accountability, and sometimes it's almost like a gut feel of how do I actually do this properly, that it's fair, it's legal, it's safe. So we're giving you lots of little ideas of that, some policy templates that you can use, that you can adjust, that you can check against what you've already got because you brought templates in from when you were with other providers, or maybe that you created your own. The most important thing to remember is that when you're looking through these documentation, make sure that you can actually keep to them. Often when I go into practices, and it'll be the same if the NHS or the ICO ever have a look at yours, and don't worry, that's really rare for them to do that. But often I say, well, I know for a fact that this practice doesn't actually do this. This is a policy, is almost a bit of a false promise. You don't want to be in that situation. So as you look through this guide, really just take it in and have a look at what you can compare what you already have, maybe make some additions, edits, incorporate it in different kinds of ways. Really feel empowered of how you could introduce this and implement this into your practice. I see a lot of the guides where they're basically saying, do this, do that, do the other, and that doesn't make you any more confident with GDPR. I want you to feel confident with that, and it's certainly possible. I speak to practice managers and owners on a regular basis who have been able to get this contextual information, take it in, and really drive some proper changes in their practice. One last thing before I go, you'll notice that there's lots of different assessments, and some of them you'll have to go out to third parties, such as your IT provider, or you need to go out to your staff, your team members, to ask them to do training. What I would say, top tip from me, prioritize those items because it relies on someone else and sometimes can take a little bit longer to get back. So have a good read through it first. Don't click on all the links, just have a good read through, see which ones you need to prioritize because of the time resource to it, and then go through it. Hopefully all the information's there that's going to help guide you through it. You're in control of this. I've got the utmost faith in you. And I think we're going to do some question and answers as well through the Smart Dental Compliance app. But more information about that later. All the best. I'm Adrian Dre. It's a privilege to do this video for you. It's a privilege to help out with this guide. And all the best. You've got this.